Hey, welcome back from break. Hope you guys all had a great time. I don't know if you noticed from my voice, but I ended up with a bad cold over break, so this is going to be the gravelly voice flip video of the day. This week and next week we're going to be working on diagramming prepositional phrases. It's fun, it's easy to do, and the only thing is trying to figure out if it's an adjective or adverb phrase, but we'll get into that. All right, so prepositional phrase, just to remind you, is a group of words containing a preposition, a noun or pronoun, which is the object of the preposition, and any modifiers of the object. Please make sure you use the correct preposition. As you can see, this pig is probably not going to end up quite happily. Will work as food when it should say will work for food. So due to his grammar mistake, Wilbur found a position. It just wasn't the one he wanted. You are going to make a 3-flap hot dog foldable for this lesson. You might want to trim it down on the side here so it'll fit in your notebook, or we can always fold it so it fits in tomorrow, whatever works better for you. You are going to want to hit pause and label the front. You're going to have adjective phrase, which will answer what kind, how many, and which one, or an adverb phrase, which is how, when, where, how often, or to what extent. And then this flap you'll just label practice because you are going to do some practice ones. All right, so I do have a riddle of the day. I'm not going to tell you the answer till class tomorrow. We'll see if you guys can figure it out. And the riddle is what has to be broken before you can use it. And I know the answer, and I bet half of you will figure it out before tomorrow. All right, adjective and adverb phrases. You don't have to write any of this in your notes. You're just listening to my voice right now. Prepositional phrases are used as adjectives and adverbs. If you just read through this with me, a prepositional phrase that modifies a noun or a pronoun is functioning as an adjective phrase. Remember that adjectives tell what kind, how many, or which one. A prepositional phrase that modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb is functioning as an adverb phrase. Remember, adverb tells how, when, where, how often, and to what extent. The best piece of advice I can give you is once you find your prepositional phrase, figure out what word it is modifying, and that's going to help you figure out where it goes as you diagram it. All right, so now we're going to be working on adjective and adverb phrases. So when diagramming sentences, the prepositional phrase is written below the word it modifies on a line with an extra extension. You see that extra extension right there? That's important. The object of the preposition is written actually on the line right here, and any modifiers would be written down here. So that's how you would write a preposition or ordinal phrase in a diagrammed sentence. Now we're going to talk about adverb phrases. All right, here are examples of how you would write an adverb phrase. Both of these phrases modify the verb because they tell where something is being done. Please put this example on the top flap of your notes, right, where it's under your adverb phrase, subject, verb, preposition, notice the long line, object of the preposition, and adjective. And then underneath that, you're going to want to write this sentence, the farmer worked in the fields, and then show how it's diagrammed. Farmer and worked is on your baseline. You've got your vertical line showing the difference between your subject and your predicate. You've got the, which modifies farmers, and in the fields, which is the prepositional phrase which modifies where the farmer worked. Take a minute, get that written down. Now grab a piece of scrap paper and try diagramming these two sentences. Both contain adverb phrases, so you're going to want to put the phrase under the verb. Try it, and then the answers are on the next slide. Your first sentence is he fell from the ledge. The second is the librarian found $1 in a book. All right, so this is what they should look like. He and fell goes on your baseline, vertical line. From the ledge modifies fell, so that would go under fell. It is an adverb phrase. Then you've got the librarian found $1 in a book, and in a book modifies where she found the dollar, so it's also an adverb phrase. Choose one of these two to add to your notes, just so you've got some more examples of how to correctly do it. All right. Now you can close your adverb flap and open your adjective phrase, diagramming adjective phrases flap. And as you can see, I've got examples again. The sentence is the bluebirds in the tree were chirping. You would put the subject and the verb. In this case, it's telling which birds. Oh, the ones in the trees. So your preposition would go here, notice the long line, and then the object of the preposition here. And we actually should have a line under here for the. So it looks like this. The blue, which modified birds. Were chirping is your verb phrase. And which birds? The ones in the trees. There you go. So on your scrap paper that you have next to you, try diagramming these two sentences. The bridge over the river often needs some repairs, and the students at my school won. Give it a shot. See how you do. All right, this is what they should look like. That bridge, and then over the river is your prepositional phrase. It modifies bridge because it tells you which one. Often is your adverb, which modify needs, and some modifies repairs. Or you could have the students, the modifying students, notice that the is capitalized. At my school is a prepositional phrase that also modifies students, one. So please pick one of these, excuse me, and put them in your notes. All right, so you've probably figured out by now that the hardest part of diagramming prepositional phrases is making sure you're putting the diagram under the word it is modifying. Each sentence is always different. And while there are guidelines, like the questions you ask, which one, who, where, there are always exceptions because this is the English language. The more you practice at it, the better you're going to get. So try these out for starters. The answers will be on the next page. And I looked through my video and I have found a mistake. We'll see if you can find it. I'm not going to point it out to class tomorrow, but there is a mistake in how I diagrammed one of these, so you can look for that. So take a minute and try these 4 on your scrap paper and see how you do. All right, and here are the correct answers. In the first one, the dog ran across the yard. Across the yard modifies ran. It tells where the dog ran. And the second one, was the sandwich for me? Okay, well, I just found a second mistake, but I'll show you this one. This should say the. So sandwich was, and then the modifies sandwich. For me modifies who it was for whom, for me, so it goes under was. The bird in the cage is owned by Mrs. Clark. Which bird? The bird in the cage. So in the cage modifies bird. Is owned as your verb phrase by Mrs. Clark. Modifies who it's owned by. So there you go. You've got a adverb phrase and an adjective phrase in this one. And then Lena dove quickly into the swimming pool. And into the swimming pool tells us where Lena dove. So it modifies dove. Choose 2 of these to copy into the practice section of your notes, please. All right, now you don't have to, this is just an introductory slide for the next lesson you'll have, the next split video you'll have. Can a prepositional phrase modify a prepositional phrase? Yes, it can. And this is how you do it. But don't worry about that until next week. Have a good night. I'm looking forward to seeing your work tomorrow. I hope this made some sense, and sorry for the gravelly voice.